I'm stacking the bitches, can't fuck with the Jacksons. I need me a paddock, cause they know what time it is, bitch, I ain't lagging.
Good morning, good morning. Hello, you beautiful people on this beautiful, gorgeous, wonderful day. This is The Ville, and I am Jada, and I'm here with Tay, Ali, and Thomas. And we are here once again to give you the real and to just let you know what's going on in the world today. So, let's start off with something a little bit juicy, which I'm sure all of you guys have had conversations about within the times of you talking with your peers and your friends. What are your top 5 artists, male or female?
Dun, 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 dun. Now, I can't give you a top 5, but I can give you a top 3 off the back of my head because it's just so much. But my top 3 has been my same top 3 for the past 10 years.
Okay.
And it's ironic. I started listening to them all around the same damn time. Mm-hmm. So my top 3 for the past 10 years, anybody know me, has always been Micheal, Drake, and Nipsey Hussle. All right. And
is that the right order?
It
don't matter. We ain't even gonna do order.
I'm gonna break it down.
Okay, break it down.
In those past 10 years, right? Like I found out about Drake in about 08, 09. A lot of people used to pick on me when I first used to listen to him. Like he's soft, he's sensitive. Yeah. I'm like, y'all don't even know this dude can rap. And then I started listening to Nipsey in 08, 09, going around that same time. So. And then Meek, I found out about Meek in 2010 because my roommate was from Philly. He put me on a Flamer mixtape.
So where's J. Cole at?
J. Cole's not in my top. And I'm going to tell you why.
I'm going to tell
you why. I come from a different diaspora, bro. Like, I feel like a lot of like J. Cole and a lot of that type of music from the outside was like a lot of backpack music. It was like for people that was in college. Think about it. J. Cole's main core base has always been college students.
I can't say that because even when I was in high school, I was a huge fan of J. Cole.
Right, but when you weren't going to his tours and all of that in high school, guess who were? The college students. That's who got him big.
But he also was a college student.
Yeah, he was.
Right,
oh, exactly. For that too. He
went to NYU.
I didn't really grow up looking up to dudes that were in college, especially around that age and that time, them 10 years. I'm listening to guys that's talking about hustling. I'm listening to guys that's talking about entrepreneurship. I'm looking at guys that are in the same reality. So I see myself in some aspects as Nipsey. I see myself sometimes in aspect when Meek Mill is actually literally talking to me on them dreams.
Oodles and noodles, babies.
You know what I'm saying? Nah, facts. Like like when Drake is talking, but Drake is unique because Drake is duality. Drake gives me that balance. You know what I'm saying? Drake can have me in the 1 minute I'm in there partying, playing, and then next he can have me in my feeling texting my ex. You know what I mean? Talking about that nigga can't love you like I can. You know what I mean? He can have your grandmama up dancing around.
That's
and that's why they have always literally been my top.
Put one old school right there. Like from the old days.
School?
Put one person in there.
Y'all gonna get me? All right. So
Lord.
Alive is I got 2 when I think of. Alive, Jay-Z. I've always looked up the Jay-Z. His music, it has always.
I like
his Jay-Z music.
I like it, and it's not for everybody.
And honestly, I'm not a Jay-Z music fan at all.
I dig
but
it.
that's just.
I'm still mad because you cheated on Beyonce.
Okay, that's a part of it.
I think
but,
exactly.
Honestly, if I'm talking about my top 5, it automatically goes to Drake, Beyonce. Ooh, child.
See, Beyonce will never be in my top.
See, she's always. Let me tell you the
It's
reason why Beyonce is in my top 5.
No, she's
it has to do with just her as a whole, like just her being a performer as a whole, as an entertainer as a whole. Like I went to her concert for the first time and I literally cried. Like and that experience was just
Hey,
amazing.
Future do the same thing to me.
Future's in my top 5 as well. I put J. Cole and then. This is old school, but honestly, I had to put Destiny Child in there.
Where is
they was it. Young Thug not in there, not for me.
Not my top 5. Hold on. We'll get to that later. Keep going. We'll get to that.
You did your top 5 already.
Yeah, I did mine. What's yours?
So my top 5, it's a little mixed bag, you know. Okay. So we definitely gonna have to put J. Cole on there. Like I love his evolution. Also as an artist, I love the content that he putting out now. It's not that club banger. You're not gonna get that from J. Cole, and it's okay. We got a lot of other artists that do that. He dropping knowledge right now. He trying to get us to reflect on ourselves.
Years.
He been doing it for years. But it's more dense now. It's more dense, and he's telling you now. Yeah, but another artist. I would definitely have to say Drake. Like we can't. A lot of people like the flex on the boy Drake. Bro. Yeah. Secretly, Drake is on everybody's top 5. Don't play. Don't let nobody fool you.
Don't let nobody fool you.
Another one is Biggie Smalls, man. Like freshman year in college, I really took time to like listen to his old stuff, and I fell in love with the raw, the raw storytelling that he told, and it was actually funny, and the way he put shit together was hilarious.
If you love Biggie Smalls, 'cause I'm a hip hop head, I want you to go research an artist later on called Big T out of the West Coast. Biggie Smalls even would tell you his favorite artist was Big T. He pioneered the very style. So a lot of people credit Biggie Smalls with that style. As soon as you hear Big T, you're gonna hear it. We'll get back to that later.
Yeah, you might be right, but definitely, like my favorite song from him was Warning. When I heard that whole story of the song Warning is hilarious. How the outro with Diddy saying like he was the niggas trying to rob him. They was like, you got a red dot on your head. It was like, you got a red dot on your head. They like at the end, they like, oh shit. So like the way and it wasn't it's not just that song that's a story. Like a lot of his shit is story. So like I could just close my eyes and see everything he's saying, and it's hilarious as fuck.
His flow was crazy,
impeccable.
So words together.
Yeah, it's just crazy. Definitely. And so I will also say, did I say Jay-Z yet?
No,
Jay-Z, yeah, definitely.
Top 5.
Jay-Z is definitely in my top 5. 444 is top 3 albums ever for me. It's like, again, it's not for everybody. It's dense, but like he said, he give you $1 million worth of knowledge for $9.99, like dead ass.
Blueprint.
Yeah.
Blueprint. You'll hear a lot of people tell you, like, I think
like
my favorite was that Black album.
I don't like the new and improved.
I like new and improved. And then I would say my last on top 5, it gotta be it gotta be R&B artist. So I'm gonna go with my girl Jasmine Sullivan. She's very underrated. Anybody who know me know I'm an R&B head. I love R&B music. Jasmine Sullivan, she give you that soul that.
Where your Atlanta rappers at?
I'm not really a rap. I don't listen to rap like that all the time.
That's the unique thing about music. Now, if we was just talking about one genre, the first people that I think of when it comes to hip hop in Atlanta is Outkast. The whole Dungeon, the whole
and that's not even traditional Atlanta rap now compared to what we used to.
What it is,
they was flowing their words, everything crazy. But Young Thug, 2 Chainz, them type of guys.
Let's see.
All right, Tay, what's your top 5?
In order. I'm gonna first go with the old school Life Jennings. I don't know if y'all really know about Life Jennings.
Oh yeah.
Anybody with a black mama know about Life Jennings. Anybody with a black mama know about Life Jennings.
Shit. So my number 2 gonna be J. Cole.
Yup.
My number 3 gonna be Young Thug, because Young Thug is the most creative. He has the most melodies. He has the most flows. He has the most word usage. I don't know where y'all been at. Halftime.
He's different.
I won't say he has the most. I would say that he's
different.
But
I'll give him that.
I agree with him. He's unique. He ain't in my top 5.
Yeah, he's definitely unique. I'll definitely give you that.
Feel me? Number 4 gotta be Future. All the good times that I have in my lifetime, like if I go look at my story, like my videos and all that stuff, if I'm having a good time and I'm playing music on my phone, it's Future every single time.
I will say this. I just said this the other day. I think one of the best things that could have ever happened in Future career was the breakup with Sierra, because he gave us 3-5 mixtapes after that.
He did give a lot of music after that.
That was the vibe.
Shit, my last one.
That's the first thing.
He was focused on that music.
Oh, okay.
That Beast Mode. What else did we get?
This is all alleged.
Everything.
Oh my God.
Hey, but look, my 5th person gotta be, sadly for y'all, just like one of the most creative rappers to me, I gotta go with Kodak.
I wanted to say Kodak. I really did. But I honestly, let me tell you why I can't mess with Kodak. Because I feel like I love his music, but on the flip side, what his image has turned into when it comes down to the statements that he's been making. But no, see, here's my thing. Let me say.
Let her finish.
It's the statements that he's making, and I feel like they are very ignorant because he does not really know the facts behind what he's saying, and that's what I don't like people that don't think before they speak.
I agree with you a lot, but a lot of times I have to think. I've just recently been reflecting on it. At the same time, this boy is like 20 years old.
He age,
19,
y'all. So we got
but he still has a responsibility not to take it over. That's why I still don't mess with him all the way. But he is very young.
I was just thinking about this like maybe a few days ago, and one thing I've realized with Kodak, right? Like I've lived in New York, I've lived in Baltimore, Virginia, LA. I got to travel. Everybody has a different dialect or a different lingo that they use, or a demeanor and how they carry their stuff. And I've lived in Florida too, and I had to think about it. That's how they talk down there. So in his mind, he doesn't know he's coming off rude or malice or with ill intentions.
He been talking like that the whole time.
No, it's not about. It's not about how he talks. It's about what the fuck he says.
It's what you're talking about. It's not about that. It's like you choose specific things that are off limits.
Well, we can't limit how they say it. But what I'm saying is, when he's trying to get off, he's saying it in a way like he talking to people that he homeboys are with in Florida. He not understanding. Everybody don't have that same lingo. So when he says things, it get misinterpreted. If somebody from Atlanta have a conversation, boy, I goddamn, boy, I pulled up, sure, nigga know exactly what I said. A nigga from New York gonna be like, yo, son, B, what the fuck is he talking about?
But that's still different than the shit he's saying.
Different. Like you have to understand.
Okay. Him saying that he want a light skinned girl because they easier to break. It don't matter if you from Philly, from Cali, from Florida. You know what the fuck that means.
Or when he said that he
don't put a crack in the booty.
Yeah, like it's certain shit. It don't matter where the fuck you from. It's fucked up to say.
That boy be going hard though, for real.
Or when he said that he doesn't see a problem with the Gucci skull mask, it's just because he didn't know anything behind it. You see what I'm saying? And even after he said that we're tripping and we're overreacting to that.
We gonna counsel him from being ignorant? We can't counsel him from being ignorant. Let's educate him. Let's not bash.
But we all got the same resources.
But J. Cole said he just wish he had guidance. J. Cole been saying the whole time.
But J. Cole ain't walking around saying the same stuff that Kodak Black was saying. Come on now.
I will say some of the stuff that he says is untasteful. I'm not sticking up for him. When I am saying like the Lauren London thing, I think that was very untasteful. What is that? That can't be the first thing you think of. However,
it wasn't even
with some other things, I think he's just misunderstood because of his communication. Perfect example. We might say, God damn, bro, I heard Nipsey got killed the other day. That's fucked up. The lingo down there in Florida, like, damn, boy, I heard that boy Nipsey just got bad. Now saying it like that to somebody else on the outside,
but that's not even that bad. It's not all about. It's not the way he's saying. It's what he's saying. I understand what you're saying, and I completely. It's some words that get missed that you don't. But that's different from saying somebody got bagged to saying, oh, she a widow now. I'll be her friend.
No.
That's a lot. You're going overboard at that point.
Besides that, I'm with y'all 120% on that.
Yeah.
But I'm talking about other things people come at him for. Some of it is
self-ignorant. That I'm not worried about.
And I'm just saying, like, he's ignorant. Let's just be real.
But at the same time, like one of our psychologists said,
just don't counsel him out.
Ignorance is a decision.
Thank you.
At some point, ignorance is a decision. I agree.
I agree.
I mean, especially in a time we're at now where everything is literally on your phone, ignorance is a decision.
If I had all that money, I really don't care what y'all think I think. But at the same time, education is important. Education is important. So I'm
but see, here's the thing. Here's the problem with you. Here's the problem with him doing that. Even though he's an artist and he got all this money and he's putting his opinion out there, the problem is that you're putting your opinions out there that one isn't valid, two is disrespectful to people, and three, you don't even know what you're talking about half of the time to even speak on it.
At the end of the day,
so you can't, and people are watching him, and people are fans, and people are following him. So he has to understand that he has a responsibility to say certain stuff that isn't disrespectful to people, or isn't because the same people that he being disrespectful to is the same people that he want to go buy his albums.
Well, let's wrap that up. At the end of the day,
I'm gonna call that bop at the end of the show.
That's okay, and
you can support his music. Some people separate, you know what I'm saying, personality.
Definitely support the music.
But dope conversation. What's the next topic?
Okay. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm just gonna, before we move on, I have to put Cardi B in there. I'm sorry, you guys. Let me tell you the reason why I wanted to put her on there is because I believe that Cardi B definitely evolved very, very fast, and she has become a very great artist as far as what she first started off to be to what she is now, and I respect her for that completely.
Megan Thee Stallion she was doing an interview or whatever, and she basically said comparing Nicki Minaj to Cardi B is like comparing J. Cole to Lil Pump. That is so fucking disrespectful, bro.
That is disrespectful.
Yeah, I don't think it's that drastic.
It's not that drastic.
It's not that big of a no.
It's not that big of a gap.
She's saying Cardi B's Lil Pump and Nicki Minaj is J. Cole.
I would say that's obviously somebody that's on the outside looking in who's only seeing the image. Now, when you pay attention to the content, she's turning up, but that's what type of music she's making for. Besides that, on other platforms, she does represent authenticity.
That's what people relate to.
Listen, she'll tell you, I'm not the smartest person. I don't have the best vocabulary, but people understand her because the emotions and the realness and the rawness. And one thing, I used to follow her on IG when she was talking about, look, I was a stripper. This is what it is.
And them shits was funny.
Game and jewels. What the fuck has Nicki Minaj, not to disrespect Nicki, but what has Nicki Minaj contributed back to the black community or even far as hip hop? When she does not get her way, when she does not get her way, she throws her tantrum.
Yeah, she does.
And she plays victim.
Yeah.
Let's not get caught in it.
Yeah, we definitely got to see the ugly in her in the past.
Yeah,
both. That's
2 years
even when it
before.
came down to Remy Ma when she first came out, you saw the ugly in Nicki Minaj again too.
Now the
So
biggest
I think
thing
it
was that
just-
Travis Scott shit. Like all of that just was OD for me.
Oh
It's
yeah,
like,
OD.
It's like
I think the biggest issue is people
Oh,
will
dear.
try to put you in a category where you can only like one.
yeah.
And that's the vibe.
Yeah.
That's wrong.
Yeah.
I can like Nicki and I can like Cardi. I might be
But
one
Cardi
to turn
better.
up to the. It depends.
For
on
now,
the vibe.
right now,
At the
right now,
moment, yeah.
right now, yeah.
Nicki Minaj got a bigger platform.
Let's not
Now Cardi got it just as big as
Just
Nicki
as big.
Minaj.
Scotty
Platform
and all
wise,
that. I
not
can
the
go back
connections,
and
but
Nicki.
platform wise, yeah. People gonna pay more to see Cardi right now than Nicki.
Engineer has a
Cardi
question.
B,
Yeah,
one.
I got a question. So do y'all think City Girls, Meg Thee Stallion, Light Skin Keisha, y'all think they would all have this platform they had without Cardi? Because before a minute, it was just
They're not going to
One
reach the
queen.
same
They
No.
would have
level
that
as
black
Cardi.
girl.
No.
They're not going to reach the same level
without
as Cardi.
Nicki.
No.
Yeah,
They
I
would've
think you
had
gotta start
less-
before
Yeah.
that.
Take it even further.
They wouldn't have
because
had it
there
without
wouldn't be
Nicki.
No Cardi or none of that without Nicki, and we can
Yeah.
take it even further than that. We gotta
And that's
be
why
honest.
she
You can
deserves
do-
And they were
you
all
can do
coming
Lil'
up at the
Kim,
same
you can
time
do
as
all
Cardi.
these different
Lil' Kim.
people.
Lil' Kim was
Yeah.
the first one to be explicit.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Her, Foxy Brown.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All of
The
them
girl
was
from
showing-
My
Missy
Neck, My
Elliott,
Back.
you gotta
What's her
think about
name?
all these
Damn.
different women
My
rappers.
neck.
We can
Yeah.
even
My
take it down to
back.
Florida.
Yeah.
High
head
Oh, bro,
and my track.
Trina.
Trina.
Trina definitely
what
made,
about
Trina
Diamond
made it
from Crime Mob?
mainstream.
Yeah.
Trina was talking that shit.
What
Yeah.
about Diamond from Crime Mob?
But that was
That was later on.
That was later on.
Oh, well,
That was your
Nah.
teenage years.
Well, yeah.
Your
I
ratchet
was-
And she did that for a good year and a half.
Yeah.
And then,
Yeah, I'm like, it wasn't long.
It wasn't long.
I
She
was
still did it.
like, I don't
Wasn't
know.
long.
That was for
Nah, but
one
if we
song.
gonna pay
If y'all hear Knuck If You Buck, y'all going crazy.
Oh, yeah, I'm getting
Fathers,
lit.
you
I'm
know
getting
what I mean?
lit. But anyways, that was just,
But
I had to
Nicki
mention.
did hold it down for like 10 years.
She
when
did.
there was no
She
other
did.
pop
She did.
She was
artists.
playing-
And then
she was
wanted to
competing
be
with
the
herself.
only one holding it down. She didn't
Sometimes
want no
you get a little-
competition.
Sometimes you know what they
I mean, it's the
say.
route she took.
Sometimes the oppressed become the oppressor, man.
And that's very
That's
true.
just maybe.
Hey.
Y'all think she
Move
fucked
on.
Lil
We
Wayne
can
or
move
is that
on.
a
We can
different
move
day?
on.
Okay,
We
we're
can
moving
move
on.
on.
We're moving on. We're moving on.
I guess.
Juicy.
So here's a question for all my sports fans out there. Y'all tell me this. Is LeBron James
No.
the new and improved Michael Jordan?
So no, let's get this started off first off.
Mm-hmm.
How many times what's his Michael Jordan's ratio in the finals?
6-0.
And guess what? No team has ever gone all the way to the final round with him. He sweeps you.
He's a G.
What is LeBron's record in the finals?
I want to say
Not
4-7, 4-6, 4-7,
something like
4-6.
that.
Was it the same talent on the teams though? When you look
Depends
from
on what
MJ
What's
to
called was on
LeBron?
the best team at that time. I feel like
Who?
Chicago '98. I feel
Yeah.
like that was the best
And
team.
So you also got because LeBron be carrying a whole motherfucking team on his
Yeah,
back.
and that's
But
something.
it's
to-
not all the
aggression, too.
time because when you watch LeBron, when LeBron is by himself and he's not getting his way, he throws tantrums. He'll sit out. I've seen him complain about minute stuff with cramps, and I'm an LA fan, and I think that's one of the
The
reasons
cramps.
it's not working. When you don't have that leader, he's a leader when he wants to be. When you're on that court, you're supposed to sit with the team. You're supposed to be part of the team. He'll sit on the other side, Louis Vuitton suit, waving, not being participant in the team. A lot of people say they left or not working real well in that team because of the way LeBron leads the team. That was one of the issues with Kobe Bryant when I grew up watching Kobe. Kobe
you
didn't know
gotta
how
say
to be
about
a
Bean,
team
dog?
player. He didn't know how to be
Oh,
a team
nah,
player.
he definitely wasn't a team
But
player.
once he learned how to teach and mold that team together as a unit, that's why it worked. That's why he won rings while he was in Miami because he understood you needed Wade, you needed Bosh, and it was a system. When that system's not working, Kyrie's a phenomenal player. There was phenomenal players, but they were clashing with who? LeBron. The organization is about who? LeBron, not about
Kyrie ended up
Cavaliers.
He ended up saying sorry about that though.
Yeah.
Like saying he was wrong and just being.
But you know he got an
a young,
image too.
strong-minded.
He said what he meant the
I mean,
first
but he
time.
didn't have to apologize.
Yeah, you're
Yeah,
right.
you had a reputation of keep.
I like LeBron better not on the athlete perspective as far as like
Social
statistics,
totally
but
different.
Don't say
but
business.
but not even just business, but what you're doing, what he's doing for his community.
Yeah.
Because Michael Jordan been silent for so many years on so much shit, and LeBron is stepping out and say, I'm not going to let you silence me, and I'm not just a basketball player. I'm not going to just dribble and shut the fuck up. I'm going to make schools for black students. I'm going to donate to black people.
Too, I'm the same thing.
So we're not talking, if we're not speaking just on, because I'm just speaking on pure sports. We talking about basketball.
I'm talking about as a whole.
Yeah, we're talking about as a whole.
Then I would have to split it up because I do separate the two. On the court, he would never compare to Michael Jordan. That's just facts.
Okay.
The numbers is there.
No, he can be compared. He's just not the same player.
He can be compared, but it's
not the same.
It's not going to be the same. The numbers are going to add up. He does not meet statistically the level.
Okay.
All right. Two, now on a personal level, I commend him. He is one of my favorite people. He has excelled anything that Jordan has ever done for the black community. You say that Jordan is silent. No, he has voiced it.
He's done stuff.
But just with money. I don't understand how the hell you give $1,000 to Black Lives Matter and then you're going to give $1,000 to the police department. Yeah. That is counterproductive.
Yeah.
You play both sides. We already know he's always been showed at the Republican Convention Center. He's down with the old Grand Party. Do not get it confused. He votes against your interests.
Exactly.
So he has voiced his opinion.
Because he's part of that 1%.
LeBron has opened up a school. He has showed us how to be a character off the court. How to
Did y'all see the success rate for that school?
It doesn't matter. It's the idea.
No, it's great.
Okay,
cool. Success rate for that school is great.
Oh, I know he was gonna show out with that. Of course.
Programs, and then the dopest thing I've ever seen him do before this is every year he gives people from his hometown scholarships to college, and every single one of his homeboys he paid for their higher education so that they can have positions in his organization.
That's what the fuck I'm talking about.
That's
man.
a real homeboy.
Yeah.
A homeboy ain't a nigga that's gonna come up to me and be like, "Damn, bro, I'm not on my feet," and you give me an ounce of grant or some work and be like, "Well, shit, get this off."
Or
that's not
even
a real
just pay your
homeboy.
bills.
Or
like
you know what
that's
I'm
not
saying?
even.
Yeah.
He helping build them.
He helping. He putting money back into his hometown. He represents his hometown. He's a family man. We don't hear shit about LeBron.
Shit, I really appreciate that as a top black athlete. For no sex scandals or nothing. That's rare.
That's rare.
That's rare.
Hey, I heard a rumor.
Speaks his mind.
Yeah.
I heard a rumor they was gonna pay LeBron and Serena Williams $1 million if they had a super baby together. Wouldn't that baby be crazy? Serena Williams and LeBron, that baby gonna come out
The way
like this.
genetics
Serena
work.
got her billionaire husband. She good right now.
She good. She good. Serena like you can have your $1 million.
Like, you can have
that's my shopping money.
Yeah,
that's my shopping money right
Okay,
here.
so here's my question. Do you think that there's anybody in the NBA that could compare to Michael Jordan right now? If it had to be one person, then
Russell
who would
Westbrook. Yeah, you saw I did that.
Okay.
I really don't keep up with it.
Russell Westbrook. That's the only person that got that intensity. That's gonna dunk on you. That's gonna do everything on both sides of the court.
My problem with Westbrook is Westbrook doesn't know how to play his position. We just seen that the other night. People put too much on him like he's the face of the organization. He wants to be the man all the time. You have to understand this is why
he is the man.
No, that's the problem thinking. That is why the West is going to get dominated by Golden State. Everybody on there, Draymond Green, not Draymond Green, but all of these, Draymond Green, all of these guys that's over there, Curry and all of these guys, they play their position. They don't care about who gets the point. Westbrook is selfish. He doesn't want to play his position, and that's why they blew that loss the other night.
How does he not play his position? Just explain to me how he does not play his position.
He wants to be the man. He
is the man. He's averaging triple double for the last 3 years.
We're going to let y'all talk about this.
He's averaging
The
triple double.
debate gets later on the next show.
Mark my words, y'all going to see who's going to win the West. Golden State.
Okay. So moving right on along. So there's been a couple of things that's been happening in the athletic world or really in America in general, where women are pretty much false claiming rape and nothing is getting done about it as far as it legal wise or in the system wise. So should there be a punishment for women lying about rape?
On your face. I'm gonna let you go ahead and start this off, and then I'm gonna hit you with my personal experience. I've been in this situation. Let's go.
Oh,
I feel like everybody has some type of situation.
I feel like I've never been in this situation or anything, but my heart definitely goes out to people who have lost jobs, careers, so many opportunities because something like this was hanging over their head and it was illegitimate. Like the guy from what's his name? From
Sean
Baylor.
Oakman. Look, y'all go look up Sean Oakman and look at this man popping out his jersey. That jersey is too tight.
He was supposed to be a first round draft pick, but he had a rape allegation from so it's like, and now it's coming out that's false. It was falsified. So he lost out on 3 years of potentially being in an
NFL
first round draft pick.
Jesus.
So many opportunities, and so I feel like not only should charges be pressed, but that should go on your record. That should follow you when you're applying for jobs, just like it was following these people who lost these opportunities. On top of that, I also feel like you should be getting sued for the opportunities that you lost. So they have actuarial people who like in civil, like when they doing lawsuits, that estimate somebody's like worth of what they could have made as a person. Like if somebody ended up dying or something like that, they can estimate their potential, or if someone's cut off. So what they should do is estimate the potential losses that he got from this case, from this being over his head, and then she should be obligated to pay that back to him.
Yeah.
So I feel like there should definitely there should be no way that somebody can make a serious allegation like that and lie and still be able to go back home and chill and live their life when somebody else's life was on hold. That shit is fucked up to me.
So I just want to, before I even get into my even personal experience, I just want people to understand it and just even think about this, that this is not nothing that's new. Well, let's go back to the early 1900s and the late 1800s when they was talking about Rosewood. That was what Rosewood was about in North Tallahassee. A white woman got caught cheating on her husband, and so what she do? She lied and said that a black man raped her. They went into that town and killed and tried to hang every black man, woman, and child out there.
Oh, that's what happened to
That's what Rosewood happened. A white woman lied. This is not the first time. This has been going on since
I knew it happened, but I didn't know why. I thought it was just trying to eliminate people.
Look at Emmett Till. Emmett Till was lied on and said that he whistled at a white woman, and they beat him to death and drowned him. So this is not something that's just been going on. Black men have been exterminated off this planet for thousands or hundreds of years in this country because somebody can easily falsify and point a finger and lie on him, and nobody does nothing about it. Me too, God damn it.
Me too.
Nah, dead ass, me too. Okay. And it irks me.
What's yours?
I mean, I really just hate it because I feel like it's only happening to athletes and people with a lot of money. And it's really happening to successful black men every single time.
Black men, period.
Tyreek Hill situation.
Happening to black men.
I don't know if y'all heard about this Tyreek Hill situation, but basically his girlfriend was trying to make it seem like
who is Tyreek Hill? For a lot of people that know.
Tyreek Hill is the receiver for Kansas City Chiefs. Small dude, 5. He went to West Alabama, all that. But so his girlfriend tried to accuse him of breaking his son's arm and also punching his son in the chest. You feel me? And basically they had like 11-minute conversation, and she just sent it over to the lawyers and her friends and all that type of stuff, just trying to get money out of him. You feel me? But then not even 2 weeks later, I'm gonna say like a week later after the drive, you gonna go ahead and say, "Oh, I was the one that broke my child's arm. I just blamed it on you because I was upset."
Yeah.
Like, what is that, bro?
That shit
That's crazy.
Even with Ruben Foster.
Situation is scary, bro.
Yeah,
Ruben Foster, girl.
It's literally one person's word over another.
So check this out. When I was in the Army, I had a female soldier lie on me and said that I sexually harassed her and touched her because we knew who it was, right? So long story short, I didn't want to talk to the girl anymore. I had been moved on. Anybody know I was doing my thing. She worked for the command sergeant major. That's like, say, working for the general manager of a company. Was like, this guy has been telling me if I want to get promoted and stuff like that, to have sex with him. He's been having random room inspections, coming in my room, checking me. You know what I'm saying? Checking my surroundings out.
Oh my gosh.
They automatically gonna believe it though.
No, so what's crazy is I get called down to the office. All my leadership's in there. I was supposed to be going to Ranger school, and that's like an elite school or whatever. And I get in there, and they're like, "Huh? Yeah, I've been to Ranger school twice." So get in there, and everybody's like, "Hey, you're pretty much being charged with this crime. You're on their investigation for sexual assault. If I was found guilty, they said I was going to be registered as a sex offender for the rest of my life, and that I was looking at 50 years in prison." Because the Army is federal crime, all because one girl lied. They did an investigation. It came out it took 3 days for it to come out that it was a lie. They dropped the charges immediately. I got no apology. I got a pat on the back. And then when we found out who it was, I asked the sergeant. I was like, "Can we please, like, something needs to be done to her?" They told me that if they was to prosecute her or go after her, it would make other women who actually had a crime happen to them afraid to step up because they'll be afraid to be prosecuted.
See, and that's where that's where my point was coming from. Here's my thing. I have two different sides of this when it comes down to what it is, just because on one side I do have a brother, and I would be livid if anybody ever lied on my brother and said he did any kind of thing to somebody. Like, I would literally be hot. And I would want that person to go through whatever jail, however long they need to go through, to understand that they don't need to do this to nobody else again.
Exactly.
But when I am thinking about it and when I'm listening to everything, I also don't want this to be, because I do respect the amount of like rigor that they're put on rape and the amount of punishment that they do give for rape. So I do respect that, because I do believe that in that sense, that is the one thing that can be done to a woman that can actually break her. Mm-hmm. So for me to like listen to that and to hear that, I get it, but what I don't understand, I just don't want it to be where it all of a sudden comes down to like, okay, well, they're trying to figure out is she lying or not, and then what if somebody is actually telling the truth? And
it works both ways. It just seems
and that's what scares me. See, that's what I'm saying. I'm on both.
Yeah, and I agree with you. It just seems like 9 times out of 10, we just know how this justice system is, and 9 times out of 10, you're guilty until proven innocent. Mm-hmm. And it's no secret. I've been in jail before, right? Mm-hmm. For something I didn't do. I obviously beat it, right? Because I'm here. But the worst thing that you can be in prison is a child molester and a rapist. Mm-hmm. Yep. So to put that jacket on somebody who hasn't actually did that crime. Do you really know what you putting that person through?
Exactly.
So we got to be very careful with these type of allegations that we put out there.
And we also don't really know for sure. Like, because here's my thing. Like, it also could go on the flip side where a black woman could be saying that a white man raped her. And he going through all this stuff saying that she's lying, and now this black girl not getting the stuff that she deserves for the rape that gets done. So you see what I'm saying? Like, it can go both ways.
I never thought about that. Yeah, because then you could go for this CEO who's been discriminating against you and been sexually harassing you, and he has the resources in the pool to make you look stupid and throw your ass
to make it seem like you lying, and now you're in jail for something that actually happened to you.
I never thought about that.
All agreed that pretty much we can all agree that one, the statute or the punishment for rape, as it is, we all agree that it is what it is. It should be what it is.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It seems like we all agree that it should be no discrimination when it comes, and that there is a disproportion of where if you are black, whether you're a woman or a male, that nobody you're going to be convicted. You're guilty into innocent. And I think we just need to overall just change the system and be more responsible and accountable, and just not to put ourselves in a lot of these situations. Yeah. Know who you're dealing with, man.
Yeah, that's really what the truth is. Just know who you really being around. Know who you laying in bed with, cause honey.
Cool.
But
What's next?
So, should prostitution be legalized in America?
Yes. Okay. So, y'all, I thought this would be a good topic because when I first heard about it, when I first heard somebody say it, I'm thinking like the average person.
It's legal in some places.
Fuck no. No. Why the fuck should prostitution be legal? But here's my thing. Prostitution is one of the oldest professions, jobs, whatever you want to call it, in the world. It is. So my thing is, it's going to happen anyway. So why not protect the women that are in this industry? So like, and my big thing too is, then I know the women and men. You're absolutely right. So my thing too is like the porn industry. That's a sex job. You're literally doing the same thing, but they saying it's legal if you publish it, if you put it out in the
Have you seen The Deuce?
Nah, what is that?
You seen Two Girls, One Cup?
It's on HBO. That's what The Deuce is talking about. The porn industry was started from prostitutes,
and I believe it. And that makes perfect sense.
The Deuce on HBO.
That makes perfect sense. And my thing too is you also get once you get regulation with it, like. Women have more autonomy over their body and more power over what's going on. You no longer have those abusive. Well, it's always gonna be a black market with shit. Yeah. But you're not gonna have as many like abusive pimps and stuff like that, pimping them out and taking 80% or 90% or whatever the fuck they want to take from the profits of her doing this service. And you're not gonna have. I feel like that's definitely gonna mitigate.
Facts. That's exactly what happened.
And then also you have. It's going to decrease STD rates because a lot of times these women are pressured into having unprotected sex with these men and are getting sexually transmitted diseases. So now women can be like, hey, what we going to do is, because it's a lady who said, I saw a panel about it. She was saying she a dominatrix. So what she does is every person, she does a background check on them. She chooses who she does, and she makes them take a STD test. So when you are performing these services, you're 100%. You 100%
Beyonce
in the clear with everything.
Be like Beyonce.
And so,
like Beyonce,
no, I don't think you have to look like Beyonce. I think as a person in general, you should have that the ability to know that this is the same person. This is they don't have any STDs or anything. So I feel like also then you have the thing of you have security. You can also then hire security. So if shit start to go left, you can be like, we ain't having it. So my thing is, it's gonna happen regardless, no matter what the fuck. What laws they put on it, it's going to happen. And then another thing too is most of the people that's going to jail for prostitution are the prostitutes, not the pimps that's making them do this shit. When they getting arrested, the pimps they down 75 somewhere, they at the crib. But that happens sometimes, but majority of it, it's the women that get charges, and then after that, then they can't get a job nowhere else.
I'm gonna just say this. So 90, like most of that shit, you're absolutely right. That's absolutely what happened. The porn industry was started by prostitutes who came together and realized that instead of making the amount of money with one guy, I can multiply my money by recording it. What happened was it started in New York. They outpowered the pimps, and the pimps no longer had power, and so they transitioned into porn. But if anybody's from that lifestyle, I would tell you pimping is dead, pretty much. Like you do have small cases where, pimping is as far as a major stream, it's not as big as what we used to see it as. And you do have your pimps out there, but most of it is independent, where women out here are doing it on their own. They realize we don't need a man to control us to do it. So I do think that we need to legalize it, because one way, by legalizing it, they have those protections such as health clinics, because you're gonna regulate it. We can actually set up businesses. You can be an entrepreneur and set up. I mean, that's a business regardless. They're gonna do it regardless. Sex has been
they're
sold
gonna do it regardless.
Okay, so here's what I'm saying.
Y'all don't think it's gonna increase though?
No,
it's
because a stripping is legal.
What I am saying.
But how many people walk around and say,
okay, here's what I am saying. I get it, and I understand, like, on the feminist, and I understand the feminist side of it, and I understand, like, I get the logicalness, logicality of it behind what making it legal. I do get it. I get how that does, but pretty much makes life better for prostitutes.
In the trick.
So, but let me tell you where I get veered off from this.
Okay.
I get veered off from this when I'm sitting here and I'm thinking about, okay, if they legalize this, I automatically just went into thinking about when I have children. I don't want my kids to grow up in a world where prostitution is legal.
Exactly.
And let me tell you why I don't want my kids to grow up in a world where it's legal. I don't want them to think that
my son will be a freak.
I don't want my daughter or son to ever in their life feel like that is what they have to do in order to make a living, or in order to make a way in their world, in this world.
But Jada,
let me explain why I'm saying that. And this may be just because of my beliefs as a woman, but I just personally just don't. I believe that giving something like that away is like you're pretty much giving a prize away all the time, and that to me is just I don't want my kids to feel like that is what the norm is.
So teach your children that.
Exactly.
Don't hold on.
It's about censorship. It's about censorship.
We just talked about this on the last show. We just talked about that. You can't teach your kids whatever you want.
Right.
You can teach your kids whatever you want, but at the end of the day, when they grow up, when they're outside in this world, and then when this world is what is actually going to shape them into the type of person that they are.
And they're gonna go outside and they're gonna know what prostitution is, regardless if it's legal or not.
Exactly. And I understand they're gonna know what it is, but at least with it being illegal, there's a connotation to it that I can't do this because I'll go to jail.
What I want to do in my life is what my parents kind of instilled.
But you're thinking on the outside too of voluntary people. There are also so many thousands of people who it's involuntary too. So once you legalize it, you give people a way out, and you eliminate a lot of the black market.
Back into the economy. That's black money. That's back into the economy.
You're thinking small.
We're not talking about a product. We're not talking about.
We sell sex all the time.
If that's your prerogative, you should be able to do it.
We sell sex all the time.
But see, here's the problem. Here's the problem with it. It's not about. See, y'all are men, so y'all don't see the.
I just don't
understand how a woman can go broke if she got a body.
How precious that is. Y'all don't see.
We get it, but you can't put that same moral on all women.
Nah,
I
women
can.
she can't
Yes,
go
all women.
broke.
All women should believe that thing is precious.
But guess what?
All
They
And
women
if you
should
decide
believe
that you want to charge
They
a
should
motherfucker
definitely
$2,000
believe
a
that.
pop,
Guess what?
you
It's
should
her
be able to
body,
do
boo.
that.
But see, that's the thing. Here's
It's
my
her
thing.
body.
Listen to what I'm saying, though. Listen to what I'm saying, though. When I'm saying that our worth is more than what our vagina can give. Your worth is way more than any of that.
And
Listen
you
to what I'm
decide
saying.
that.
But listen to what I'm
Let her
saying.
talk, 'cause I do
But listen
feel
to
like
what
now
I'm
we
saying.
kinda-
But listen to what I'm
we
saying.
attacking her. I don't
Your
want her to
worth
think her
is way
attacking her.
more. Your worth is way more than whatever that is. Just because of what your brain has and what the gifts that God has given you, and it ain't sex.
Nah,
And that's what
real.
I'm saying. That's what
real.
I'm saying.
That's
What I'm
real.
saying is that there is other things that could be happening in your life that you could definitely, that I know 1,000% that all them women that's doing that could go do something else, and if they just work just work at hard at just trying to get it done and just constantly every day trying to be the best person that they can be and do whatever they can do to get that certain thing done, they would not be having sex for money. I guarantee you that.
I totally agree with you.
I don't want you to think we're trying to attack you now.
I'm just saying that isn't it. Like I'm just saying that's not. I don't like that. If we're gonna say that we're gonna legalize it, I feel like that's making it a norm.
Right,
no, but the people that's gonna do it, they're gonna do it regardless,
and that's
even
fine.
though it's legal or illegal.
Just like people are gonna smoke weed regardless of if it's legal or not. But what I'm saying is that if it's a right or a wrong, if you're making it legal, when you're making it legal, you're making it normalized. That's what I'm saying. That's all I'm saying.
Everything that's legal is not normal.
Let's move on.
Okay. So what ain't?
Yeah, we could go down.
Let's talk about that later.
Well,
What
I'll
ain't?
have to
Marijuana.
It ain't legal right now.
It's legal someplace.
It is.
Just like prostitution is
it's not
legal.
Countrywide.
Yeah, but
What's wrong with marijuana? Tell me one thing wrong with marijuana.
I didn't say that anything was.
So tell me-
I said that when you. I said what I said. What I said is that when you make it
Put the
legal,
cigarettes down,
you
no
are.
marijuana.
Look,
More to
listen
smoke.
to what I'm saying.
She right,
That's not
bro.
what I said. What I said was, if you make it legal, then you're making it normalized. So when I'm talking, so if you want to talk about weed is not. So once weed becomes legal, it's going to become normalized for the whole country. But
It's already normalized.
but no, it's not. No, it is not. It is not normal for you to be walking down the street and smoking a blunt. That's
Tell
not
people in
normal.
Atlanta
You
that.
still- you
Tell the
still-
motherfuckers
you
in
still-
Atlanta
Y'all
at Georgia
tripping.
State,
it's people.
Auburn Avenue,
It's
people
across the street from the
We
mangoes.
were driving up
I
here
know
last
for a
week.
fact.
That
What
is
happened to you when we was
not.
driving up
That
here
is
last
not normal.
week?
Y'all
A
would
roach
stop.
stealing your
Y'all
lap.
would stop.
We on the highway and a
Look,
roach stealing his lap.
listen. Just because people do it don't mean that it's normalized. What I'm saying is that it's not normalized right now. No, it is not. Y'all cannot sit here and say that smoking weed wherever you want is normalized, because it's not.
People just do it then.
Okay.
That's not true.
I just think if you're gonna do it, I think if it's gonna happen, it's gonna happen, and we all can agree that it's gonna happen. I agree with protecting the women and the men that are in this industry, and what it will do is it will eliminate a lot of the detriment that it's doing to society. I feel like once you
start
able
wearing women condoms.
and then you and
Not doing
then
that no more.
whatever. But then you literally have, like, when you think about it, you have a client list that you can choose from. You can see a person be like, hey, I don't want to do this today. I don't want to do this with you. I want to check your background. We're gonna do a background check. We're gonna do an STD check. And so when you don't, it's a clear mind.
So
when you
this
going
is
into
the
that.
great thing about this. That's why I think it was a great conversation, because we get to see different dualities and different just parts of this argument. And hey, viewers, y'all hit us up and tell us what y'all think about this topic.
Y'all can go ahead and blow up the
I got a
comment.
question for the viewers.
Question for the viewers,
What's
man.
up?
So do y'all think women can go broke if they have a nice body? Can you be a broke woman and have a nice body?
Okay, that's
I
for a
don't think
different.
we're gonna do
That's
that.
for a different day, because we
Alright,
gotta
so-
keep it moving.
That's
Honestly,
prostitution.
y'all. So let's keep it on chucking. So the college cheating scam with
talk about it.
Lori Lawton and Felicity Huffman.
None of them actors, right?
So yes, one is
Yep.
on the Real House, not Real
The Full
Housewives,
House.
Full House, and then one is on some housewife show. I can't remember the show. It's a sitcom.
But they got money on.
It's a sitcom.
And I saw her on a lot of
But,
other shit too.
So
What happened to that
it's
black dude at Hampton?
what?
Howard.
Howard. What happened
It's
to him?
I don't know. Keep going.
Keep going.
Okay.
that later.
So pretty much these women, y'all probably already know. I'm just gonna give y'all like a little synopsis of what had happened. But these women pretty much they funnel money from their non-for-profit in order to get their kids to pay for their kids to go to Howard, literally to get accepted into Howard. I mean, not Howard,
Harvard, Yale,
and all these
Berkeley, prestigious,
all these prestigious universities.
Elite.
So let's talk about like what really happened, and let's talk about like the really details behind it that we don't see on the news that really show the action, the meaning behind the action.
I've been following this for a minute. Yeah, so one of the things that's crazy about this, right, is and I'm gonna talk to them just like how they be trying to come at us. This is a RICO Act for one. They were using the school principals. They were using people that was in the testing administration. This is a criminal organization. These are thugs. They're criminals. They need to go to prison. What they were doing was falsely taking scholarships from other children that could have used rowboating or whatever. Falsely having the administration go in there and illegally identify themselves as this individual, which is falsely identity, which is a felony. Criminals. They need to be charged for this. And then what they were doing was not only taking scholarships, they were funneling money by saying, okay, non-for-profits, that's how they were paying them. We're gonna donate $40,000 to your non-profit, and with a non-profit you can't tax it.
One family even donated $6 million.
So
then write that shit off on their taxes.
This is
So
write that shit off on their taxes. I know y'all seen
it's not a company, it's a non-for-profit.
It's a non-for-profit.
He set up a fake non-for-profit, and that's how he was paying the coaches and everything at the schools. So
what he's doing is where we have actual coaches giving scholarships to these kids. So you're funneling them. You have people that's inside the testing administration for the SAT working for you. The actual people testing, what they were telling the kids to do was saying that they had mental illness issues or they have a testing issue. You can do that at Georgia State too.
Yeah, to get
where
extra
you need
time.
to go test somewhere else separate from people. Like let's say you got anxiety, and they would get in a room and then they would switch somebody out and let them take the test. Or these frames, and this is not the only people doing it. They got other people where they found, hey, their students have already gone through. We're talking Harvard. We're talking all of this. And what upsets me in the most is it's black kids out there, not just black kids.
Yeah, not even just black kids.
All over the country that have been denied.
Even other white kids.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
That's busting their ass,
bro, to go into these Ivy League schools, and it shows that this fucking go to school, be great. It's a fucking joke, bro.
Yeah.
It's a business, and it shows right now that it's all about who you know, what money you got, and this game was never built for us, bro.
Yeah.
This shit is an elitist society.
Definitely.
Yeah, it was the big liaison for all of this was a dude by the name of Rick Singer. So he had the plugs with the SAT, ACT people in the colleges and stuff like that. So they was paying the coaches and stuff like that. And what they'll do is once the student get in there, then they're like the student mysteriously has a injury, or they decide they don't want to do it anymore. And so once they're already in the school, then they already in the school. But like he was saying, you taking so many opportunities from these other people. And then I stopped to think too, like, why are they going to these lengths? Like a family donated $6 million. It's like somebody said when I watched the panel about this, it's an unofficial aristocracy of like elitism of like because like Ali was saying when he was talking about being an attorney, if you don't go to these top schools, those are the Supreme Court judges, those are the senators, those are the movers and shakers that's making rules and legality and everything. This is happening
in sports too, because a lot of people think that's like, I'm a Giants fan. I don't know if y'all just watched the draft.
I'm a Giants fan too.
Oh my Jesus.
So the dude that they
the
dude that they drafted from our draft for the quarterback, I ain't gonna say his name, but
Daniel Jones.
He plays for Duke. Now, was it not Duke?
It's Duke.
Yeah, it's Duke. Garbage over there. But what they're saying is, find out his people are cool with the GM and all of that.
And the Mannings.
And the whole Mannings and everything. So what they're saying is they skipped on the whole draft because there's a thing in
they
the
skipped
NBA,
on a black man.
Yeah, in the NFL that they won't put a black man in there. But this dude's family was cool with him, so they drafted him.
And y'all know New York was actually the last team to ever start a black man, Geno Smith. You feel me? Like, come on, bro.
Yeah.
I mean,
so that happens in all fields, bro.
Honestly, when it comes down to what they did, I was listening to a podcast with Remy Ma and Joe Budden and a couple
free
other
Remy.
And free Remy, please, y'all. Free Remy. But anyways,
that's love and hip hop shit toxic.
What I wanted to really speak on is what she said. She said that if it was her child and if she could have the ability to do that, she probably would.
Yeah, that's a big question.
If y'all had to, if it was your child, and
it's
if you had the actual ability to do that for your kid, and it has to. I'm just thinking about it. I'm thinking about it from the aspect of if you had the ability to do that for your kid and to put them in a position to where they are going to be in a their surroundings are pretty much going to be in a certain level to where if I could get my kid in a Harvard just by paying money.
So you see how you.
But I'm not falsifying documents.
But I'm not falsifying no damn
documents. But you see how you said that and you feel about that and how a mother can be like that's your morals and a mother can be like this is what I gotta do. Some women, just like we was talking about the prostitution thing, some women probably feel the same way. Like
about what?
Like this is the only option I got right now, and if maybe even though I'm in this situation, this is what.
Okay, it's not your because it's not your only option for you to go pay for your kid to get to school. That's not the only option.
Yeah, I think it's hard to tie that together.
That's not the only option. And also having sex is also not an only option just as well. Y'all gotta I know it's a lot of stuff out here other than having sex with people that has to do that will get you money. I guarantee you. It is 21st century and it is 2019. It is not a world where you can make money off of just the idea of something. There ain't no doggone way that you could ever sit here and try to tell me that that's the only option. You cannot ever sit here and tell me that that's not the only option. Don't say it's the only option. There's multiple other options. You just choose that one.
Okay. Well, another big thing with me too with this that made me mad is that like it's like these people that's getting in some of these schools, they already don't accept a lot of people. And so you got these mediocre ass students that come in here, they skate through the damn program or whatever, and then they go back and look down on black people like pull yourself up by your bootstraps. They the people that's over Pell Grant and shit for people in college. How the fuck you know what Pell Grant does for a student when your parent pay for you to get in? So these are the people that's the lawmakers that's making these decisions on grants and stuff like that. And it just make me mad because then they come down and they look down on us and it's like you paid your way in.
Yeah, and we still got to work 2 times harder just to get half of what they got.
Yeah, and then that also goes into a bigger thing of like even while they at the universities, because I had like one of my dad friends, he had a friend who was doing back in like the 90s when he was doing engineering at Georgia Tech. So it was him and one other black dude. So it's like they were busting their ass studying, and they would try to study with some of the white people, and they was trying to figure out like why they didn't want to study with them. So it's like, okay, cool. So they busting their ass practicing 7 days a week to get past this exam. And they like, how the hell they'll see their classmates, they party until Thursday and shit, like Thursday and Friday, the exam on Monday. They're like, how the fuck are they able to party and still be passing these exams, doing better than me? These motherfuckers had the exams. They had the exams, and they've been passing that shit down.
That's how
so like, and so that's why they stay clicked up with they people, and they're gonna pass the exam around. They're gonna go ahead and start studying on Thursday. They still gonna get fucked up over the weekend, and they got the answers to the exam. So it's like that shit is just like it just really brings up the point again of you gotta work twice as hard to get half as much.
They got.
And does that even matter?
And exactly.
Okay, so we're just gonna keep it on pushing because we're coming on to the last topic of our show, which is the necessity of black fathers. Yes. Let's talk about that, and let's talk about like I just really want to just kind of zoom in on the importance of their presence in a child's life.
I would say for me, my dad has played such a big role into who I am today, because not even just the big things, a lot of the biggest things he did for me was the little things that really changed how I interact with people and how I evaluated myself, because me and my dad, we didn't have the best relationship in my middle school years, like elementary, middle school. We butted heads a lot, but when I'm thinking back on it, it made me so much of a better person in a stronger presence, because I had these little things that I used to do. I used to whine a lot when I talked and different stuff like that. He taught me to be assertive, stuff that my mom wasn't thinking about. He the one that taught me to be assertive, look somebody in the eye, shake their hands right, not to walk on the hip. I used to walk on the hip, walk on the ball of your feet, put your shoulders back, chin up. So it's a lot of and that's just the small stuff that he taught me that helped develop me, and it just the shit that he just keeps teaching me every day. It makes such a big difference. That influence, that person that love you no matter what, that's there to help you, that makes such a huge difference in the lives of young men and women.
Definitely. for what it comes down, I think that like as far as like the importance of it for like a girl, I think that it shows you that's the first man in your life that you're ever gonna love, and that sets the tone of that love for you. So I feel like as far as that, I believe that dads literally show a woman what they should be looking for when it comes down to a companion. So when I think about like I look at like how my dad respects my mother. I think about how my dad does all these different things for my mom. That's something that I want in my relationship because that's what I see them do. That's what I saw my dad do for her. So that's why I have certain standards that I have because I know like okay like I don't need to set this with my dad. Like it's just from experiences that I have had with my father, which he has personally made me feel as if, okay, girl, you a prize. Like I don't care if don't nobody else in this world love you, I do. And that was the thing that he really set the tone for me, understanding that I'm a queen and I'm a prize and I should never ever think any differently.
Yeah. Y'all got anything to say?
Yeah, statistically proven. A lot of people try to be hard on black men and like try to kick it like a lot of black men aren't in their children's life. But I learned like a year and a half ago in one of my classes that in fact black men are actually more prominent in their children's lives more than any other race. And I think it is imperative to have black men in the household because I do feel like that no matter what and no matter how much you try, a woman can't raise a man. She could do the best job she can to get him into society and navigate through some things. But when it comes to dealing with emotions, when it comes to
even just a little thing,
or even when it comes to discipline, because my mother at a certain point in age, I was feeling myself. My mother can't tell me nothing. What are you?
You need somebody that can actually.
You know what she did? She said, "Oh, okay, that's what you're gonna do, man." She put me on a Greyhound, dead ass, and sent me across the country to live with my father. I swear. She was like, "I'm all right. That's what you're gonna do. Boom, you gone." So my father taught me things such as how to. He always told me to speak my mind, but he always talked about family, about how family comes first. That no matter what, a man take care of his family by any means. There is no excuse. You get it, however, by any means. And sadly, like I feel like he even made the ultimate sacrifice. Like in 2009, 2010, the great we had like the recession going on. Mom lost her job. We're trying to get him. My pops got back in the streets. He did what he had to do, and he's doing 20 years right now. But he's just like, I did what I had to do to take care of my family. So I as a man, I feel like there's no excuse. And if you got children, you're gonna go to the end of the world to do what you got to do to take care of them. Ain't no excuse.
Damn well straight.
Yeah.
Oh.
Anything?
Yeah, I was gonna say for my pops. By the way, y'all, I'm the engineer. I just be sitting back and chilling, but because I got mad love for my pops, big time. My pops is really like my best friend, and we butted heads too. Thomas, I'm growing up, but the biggest thing my dad taught me was love, and I know that sounds like a little different, but really more like unconditional love, and what truly unconditional love was. First thing he taught me was you got to learn how to love yourself the way God loves you, which means like he's not ever gonna put you down. He's gonna always try to bring you up. So you can't ever love yourself in a negative way. And then when you love yourself that way, you can love other people that way, and you'll be good.
Definitely. But I just think that it just should be like, not saying that I definitely don't think that like black men aren't in their kids' lives, because I think that it's definitely more so happening now. I just think that it's
always
just
room for improvement.
It's just always room, and then also that I just think that I think that men in general need to understand that your role is just as important as a woman's role in a child. And although a woman may be the person that's doing the nurturing and doing the cleaning and cooking and doing all that other stuff, but it really matters when it comes down to who that child is going to be and who the person that they're going to grow up to be. That really has a lot to do with the father. When it comes that comes into play
even
a lot.
How you handle situations. I'll give you an example. Like just growing up in the streets, I'm not even trying to be funny. I could tell sometimes what kind of dudes who had their fathers, and not even just a father, a strong male figure.
It don't have to be a biological. I was going to hit on that too.
Father. It could just be a male figure, because
just a male figure. Period.
I've seen situations where growing up in the streets, certain dudes grew up in a household full of women, and so when sometimes when those women would be in a household, you know how I can get you yelling at each other.
Y'all, that's how they express their emotions.
How we do
so
it.
when he would get into conflicts, when they would get in conflicts with men like us, they would throw tantrums, and guess what? Nigga could, excuse my language, sometimes they couldn't take ass whoopings, and this is why sometimes we got gun violence, because we didn't teach them about tough love and being around cousins and fighting and playing. You know, a lot of times they think that we doing that, they like try to be too hard on them. Sometimes we do. They did take it a little too far, but it was just to try to teach us, you know, toughen up and stuff like that. Sometimes a man handles emotions totally different than a woman, and when a man handles his emotions like that of a woman, he causes some issues, man. So some issues.
So we are at the end of our show. We're gonna do some final thoughts. I will start. I just want to do a final thought to my sister. Kayla Dean. She's graduating. Y'all saw her on the earlier show. She's graduating today,
and I just want
to tell everybody. I want to tell her how much I am proud of her, and I look up to my sister so much. Y'all don't understand. Like I literally call her a genius, and I'm so proud of her for this accomplishment. She's graduating from Georgia Tech today. Anybody else?
Shit. Shout out to God, man, for putting me on the right path, man. I feel like he got something in store for me for my life, so I just happy for God's plan, you know. Hope it's still in motion.
Cool. Okay, cool. I seen this dope quote. I've been telling everybody about it for the whole week, but it says, would you rather be at war with yourself and at peace with the world, or at peace with yourself and at war with the world? Think about it.
Well, I ain't had nothing planned, man. I'm just here to encourage everybody, congratulate everybody who graduated, all our 2019 graduates. Y'all bust y'all ass.
Shout out to y'all, man.
Hey, y'all on to some great things, man. Just one love.
Well, this is The Ville. You can follow me at The Real Jada Dean on Instagram.
It's your boy One Tay. You can follow me at _1 TAE_.
You can follow me at Joaquin_Ali.
And it's your boy Thomas. You can follow me at Thomas_Jones, the letter I, the letter V on Twitter and Instagram.
And this is The Ville on Power 108.9.
Yo.